Me, I was optimistic. We heard an awful lot about the rain, and that if the rain was a moderate to light rain, we'd be able to play, and that we would have been able to manage the water, or rather the ice crew could manage the water that was taken. So I was very optimistic that we were going to be having a game on Friday, and ultimately we know that what the history books will now say is that it was not a moderate to light rain.
We tried to block that out. We just tried to prepare for the game like we normally do, and when we got there, we knew that there was they were forecasting rain, but we just tried to block it out and prepare for the game.
We kind of always had in mind that it was a possibility that it could get canceled. Obviously they had a plan in place, and fortunately it worked out for the second night. We would have liked to have played the game the first night for the fans' sake, and obviously for the players' sake, but it turned out to be a great event, so we're happy that the skies cleared up the next night.
I was not worried that the game was going to get rained out. I thought for the most part the rain was going to hit either late or early. Turned out it hit early, obviously, and then I thought that it was going to let up in time for us to be able to maybe have a couple-hour delay and start it back up.
Just excited. The whole experience was something that we weren't used to. I know a couple guys have played in outdoor games, but for me personally, that was my first time kind of doing it. So I was just walking around, taking a lot of pictures and trying to soak in as much as you could. Because you never know when you're going to get an event like that again and get the opportunity to play in a game like that.
Well, I think we're all tremendously excited. It's a unique opportunity. Many of our players and staff haven't had the opportunity to play in an outdoor game. So it's something that everybody, top to bottom, is really excited about.
Just a lot of fun. Every time we kind of jumped on the ice, it was fun. The whole walkout was kind of a neat thing, different experience that we were used to.
To be out there and then play, first we practiced at the ice the day before, and then the day after it rained, so it was a bit delays and we canceled the game.
Just making sure the guys are aware that there will be some adversity to deal with and some distractions, but to control what we can control and just go out and play like it's any other game.
I was quite frankly, I was kind of confident. I thought, okay, well, I think it hit around 5 o'clock or so, and right when fans started piling in a bit, and I really thought it was going to let up. I wasn't worried. It looked like it was going to maybe push the start back a couple of hours or an hour or whatever. But I was confident that it was still going to go on.
I even crossed paths with Mike Murray, the VP of Hockey Operations for the AHL, in the stairwell. And I asked him, are we still on? And he said, game on, because the rain wasn't all that much when it first started for about the first half hour, 45 minutes. But after that, it just turned into a torrential downpour. And
it belongs in the rain when there's a roof over the game. That's all. It does not, because the problem is this. Not only can equipment get weighed down, from your gloves to your equipment, the jerseys get weighed down. We know how sweaty they become in a regular hockey game, and they get weighed down, their skates and gloves, and many players change between periods. Aside from that, what will happen is the rain will affect the ice, and you cannot have ice that's slowed down. Whenever you see a hockey game, you see wet ice, the puck slows down. It's not hard enough. A slow puck in a game this fast can't keep up with the action. It's dangerous for the players. They're looking back for a pass, opening themselves up for a hit. It adds to injuries then, so that's the big reason for me and for other hockey fans. No, once the ice gets too wet, as far as puddles, the puck won't slide with it, and that's dangerous for our players, because that's the main drawback. Can you play in rain, a light mist? Sure you can. I'd rather have it be snowing though.
We really didn't want a rain delay. We were crossing our fingers, hoping that it would pass, that at least it would be a sprinkle and we'd be able to have the players on there. But the best part about the rain delay is it really became a pre-party for the outdoor game. I had all my season ticket holders, mini plan holders, a bunch of people who had never been to a Stockton Heat game, all up on the concourse trying to stay warm and keep from getting wet. And we all were talking about if we thought the rain was going to pass, talking about the matchup between Bakersfield and Stockton, and we were really, really hoping that it would pass. But even though it didn't, I think the general consensus was it was a fun time out. People had a great time eating food, talking, having some drinks.
Oh, we're very excited to see the outdoor game. We enjoy the AHL games. We go to the Barracudas in San Jose. So we're happy to see what they can do outdoors.
It's a great activity because the NHL have had so many games. It's finally to bring an NHL game to this West Coast. It's really needed one.
Oh, I'm really excited. This is the first time it's ever been California for the AHL, so it's a great thing, especially for the Condors.
Frankie is new this year because we're a brand new team, so I thought it was really cool that Dinger kind of took him under his wing, taught him some moves, and they were able to feed off each other during the game, going around, getting everyone psyched up, and I think that Frankie did an awesome job for the crowd both nights. It was great to see them together. I didn't actually get to eat at the game, but I saw some of the great things the fans were getting, the giant hot dogs. I mean, every time I walked past a concession stand, it smelled amazing. And it was really cool for me to see people walking around in the Golden State Hockey Rush gear, and also there's my favorite one is the black t-shirt that has our Stockton Heat logo all frozen over.
We were disappointed. You know, a lot of guys had friends and family in town that they had to get a room and spend the night so they could come back and watch the game the next night. But we were all ready to go. We were excited, and then when it started raining and continued to rain, I think everybody was pretty disappointed.
But I was confident that it was still going to go on. So when it did come down that it was being postponed until tomorrow, I was definitely disappointed. But no, when it first started, I thought we were still game on.
It's unfortunate that happened, but that's the risk you take when you have an outdoor sport. I wish that they could have played, but when I got down there afterwards, it was kind of a swimming pool down in the rink.
The concourse was full of people waiting out the rain. I even saw some people sitting in the stands with umbrellas and stuff, waiting it out in it.
The first thing that came to my mind was just how fun and crazy that our hockey fans are here in Stockton. I mean, they were out there waiting in the rain in their ponchos without umbrellas, and it was just so fun to watch that they were genuinely just as excited as the guys on the ice were, and me in the booth.
It was a sight to see for the fans, and I think if the game were to have been played Friday, they would have went to their seats and trooped it out just like they were doing.
At this point, it's just an excitement because we've been at this now for about 7 months. And hoping that we, in the end, that we pull off the event that we wanted.
There was a real concern on Saturday from our players, at least when they stepped on the ice. It wasn't ideal in terms of the ice condition at the time. The ice had been beaten down by the sun all day. There were some youth hockey games that occurred earlier in the day because, remind you, this was supposed to be a day on Saturday. It was supposed to be a day for youth hockey, and sadly the ice wasn't ready to go. So I think that the ice crew made that recognition that they needed to do a few things to get the ice ready to go. And I think all the credit in the world goes to those guys because the ice around the boards was a little bit choppier than you'd want, especially for pros that are going to be skating a lot at very high speeds. You want to make sure it's a safe game for them, and then the ice crew obviously wants to make sure it's a safe game and that no one gets hurt on the ice, and we don't have to blame the ice surface for any injury. And so they recognized that, and they put a lot of work in. They had a bigger crew out on Saturday.
We knew there was going to be problems after it rained for a whole day, but we trusted that the crew would get it under control, which they did. When the game started, it was the ice was great.
High above ringside here at Rayleigh Field, it's the Stockton Heat taking on the Bakersfield Condors outdoors where the game belongs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brandon Kisker, and I'll be bringing you tonight's action.